Welcome to Switch It Up. Today in our not so perfect life, we've decided to switch it up a bit. So we are changing lanes with some sweet travels on one strange adventure to live a life untethered in order to keep your daydream and have a happily ever Hanks ending, Sheila.
Wow, that's a lot, Todd.
Yeah, it was kind of a lot, wasn't it? And this is our Is the RV Lifestyle for You series. And today, what are we talking about?
Well, as we've been out on the road, we've noticed that we keep meeting more and more RV content creators out there on YouTube. And so that's a question. Like, if you're gonna do the RV life, do you want to YouTube or not to YouTube? To YouTube, to not to YouTube? That is the question. That is the question. So we're gonna roll the intro. We're gonna meet one of these creators where I got to sit down with him and go through some well thought out things, well, as good as thinking as I could do, and he got to answer those questions. This ought to be good.
Yeah, this ought to be really good. So roll the intro.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
All right, and we're back. So Harold is going to, when we started this little series, we've talked about lots of different elements of getting to the RV lifestyle and considering doing this and not doing it. And I was like, okay, Harold is actually like, what are we, like 4 doors down?
Yeah.
And we never planned this by any means, but it works out perfect for you guys, is because instead of just hearing my perspective onto YouTube or not to YouTube in the RV lifestyle world, I thought it would be great just to sit with him because he's got a growing channel. He's been doing it longer than us as far as YouTube RV lifestyle goes. And I thought, you know what, let's just get him to talk about it. And then you can decide on what you want to do. I mean, this is one of those things that it takes a lot of time commitment and stuff. So he's going to have a unique perspective because you're also working. So let's start with that. Harold, let's talk about your YouTube channel. It's One Strange Adventure.
One Strange Adventure.
Right, yep. And it's number 1.
The number 1.
I'll put it down here. There we go. See that? So we'll do One Strange Adventure. And we started talking because of a couple forums. And then I think I stumbled on one of your videos.
Yeah.
And then I started watching. I follow a lot of different YouTubers and their style. And I really liked his style. So kind of give some history on how you got to start doing your channel and just kind of what your channel's about and where you've been, things like that.
Sure, yeah. We started off, we had a sticks and bricks to start off with. And, you know, we would go out on the weekends and we, my dad had passed away, left us an RV.
Yeah.
And so we didn't actually RV until up to that point. We were tent campers. We went out and we kind of got the RV bug. And so at that point, we started to upgrade, went to a Grand Design Reflection, and now we're in a Grand Design Momentum.
Yeah, it's beautiful, actually. He did a whole series. You have to go over his channel because you're going to see where he took the front bedroom, instead of having it like the master, he changed it over for his kids. Yep. And then they modified the back for their master, and he actually works out of it. So that's cool.
We started our channel. We always wanted to do the RV lifestyle. We followed other channels too, and we've been following Switch It Up for a while. But we've always wanted to do the RV lifestyle, and then we had some things happen in our family that kind of led us to the point where we're like, we got to do this now. Right. Just because if we wait until we're older, we may not get the chance to do it again. So we started a YouTube channel specifically because we have family that can't travel with us. Being able to document our travels and being able to share it with other people, even share it with our friends, was kind of the main goal. And we have 2 kids too, so we have a 14 and 16-year-old. Being able to look back at that in, say, 10, 15 years and being able to see these places that we went through our own documentation is just going to be, it's going to be rewarding, right? And so we started doing that. And then what we noticed is that there was a lot of, there was just a demand for, you know, well, how are you doing that?
Right. People start asking you questions.
Exactly.
It starts out kind of in that it morphs into something, but you started out basically just sharing with family. I call it playing for legacy all the time.
Yeah.
Where you're wanting to share with your family and friends, and then other people start watching, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, we didn't expect that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it just started growing. The biggest thing that we've seen so far is just the being able to share our story, but the rewarding part is actually getting to hear other people's stories.
Right.
through the interactions that we have through YouTube. So that's been really good.
We the Switch It Up community, just like how everyone comes together. And the crazy part is, I already know this is happening. Somebody is watching our channel and they're seeing you on it, and you're like, I watched them. So it's like this, like you're having this deja vu moment,
right?
Because not always do you see creators coming together and talking about their different things. This is one of the reasons I want to talk to Harold. Harold, you work full time still?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
my wife and I both work full time.
Right. They're on the road, they're traveling, but they've still elected to continue doing YouTube. What is the time commitment to YouTube? I know your job is pretty much a all-day thing, and then at night then you're going to go do stuff with the kids, and you have normal stuff where you're eating dinner and all that, and then yet you're still doing YouTube content. What is the time commitment on your editing and your shooting?
I'll say that it probably averages out to about an hour or a minute per video. So for every minute of video, I'm behind the computer for about an hour. And so just the editing process, you know, I make 8 to 10 minute videos.
Right.
So you're looking at 8 to 10 hours twice a week. So that's a 20-hour commitment on top of my 40-hour-a-week job. Not to mention, you have to go out and try to shoot content for you to be able to create these videos.
You have to be creating in your mind different scenarios on what you can shoot video about. Yeah.
Right. And you know, it's the other aspect is like, how am I going to add value? So when I look at something and I want to be able to add value to whoever's watching this video too. And so there's always that piece of that I'm trying to juggle and also make sure that I'm still in the moment, right? Because sometimes I can get lost with the camera in my hand.
That is so true, because you get lost. You're carrying the camera, you're looking through, and you're going, "Oh, this is an amazing shot! I'm so happy I'm capturing it." But meanwhile, you're missing some of the most important things. So yeah, no, that's a very true statement.
There are times where I will just choose to sit the camera down and just enjoy it with my family.
That's the Walter Mitty moment. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Okay, so Walter Mitty, there's a moment. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I won't go into it, but at the very end of it, he's chasing this guy down that was this world-renowned photographer, and he finally finds him on the top of this mountain, and he's sitting there, and he's trying to talk to the photographer, and he's looking through the camera, and he goes, "Well, what are you looking at?" And he goes, basically, he's been chasing this cat forever to shoot this specific photo, and it gets to the moment, and the cat shows up, and they're sitting there, and the guy's looking at him, Walter Mitty's looking at him, he's like, "Why aren't you shooting that thing?" And he goes, "This one's just for me." And he never takes the picture. And that, to me, speaks volumes a lot of times for what we do in the YouTube world.
That's right.
Sometimes you have to put the camera down and say, "No, this one's just for me."
Yeah. That's.
When are you gonna take it?
Sometimes I don't. If I like a moment, I mean me, personally, I don't like to have the distraction of the camera. Just want to stay in it.
Stay in it?
Yeah, right there. Right here.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely
great. Yeah. You know, I never even thought about that when we started. Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Okay, 8 to 10 hours, and you started basically just doing it to share, and then it's grown into your channel, which is almost 6,000 subscribers.
We're almost at 5,000 now.
Okay.
Yep.
That takes a turn, because now doing videos, you've chosen to do them 2 times a week.
Right.
And when you first start out, you're just doing them once a week and you're going to do things. But when you start making that commitment to really start sinking into it, that time commitment ramps itself up, and it changes the dynamic.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And so we've taken a little bit of a different approach too, where we love to be able to share our adventures and RV life in general, and that's usually what we post on Sundays. We also know that there's a huge group out there that's following, that's very new to this lifestyle.
Right.
And so we're taking our Wednesday videos as the opportunity to share the information or the knowledge that we're gaining through these experiences with our viewers. Wednesday is more of like a knowledge share, RV tips, tricks, upgrades, mods, things like that. And then Sundays rather is our full adventures. It's more the RV life experience.
Yeah, which is cool. And that's a whole different thing. Most people, if you're thinking about doing YouTube, most channels when you're watching them, because I already know you're watching other YouTube channels if you're watching ours.
Yep.
They usually upload once a week, and you've chose to do 2 times a week. And that was a big decision on your part.
Yeah.
We're doing 3 times a week, which is insanity on all accounts on that side. But that being said, have you enjoyed doing 2 times a week versus once a week, or are you kind of like getting burnt out with it?
No, I'm not getting burnt out at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like it's every time you post a video, there's that opportunity for engagement. Right. And so we've increased our opportunity to engage with our community, and so that has been rewarding, and that vastly outweighs the commitment or the time commitment of having to edit another video. So
this leads into, for you guys, if you're thinking about doing YouTube, and I need you to capture this moment, and I needed to hear him say it, and I need to know if he even said it. If you're making the choice to YouTube or not to YouTube, you can hear it right from him where it becomes a passion.
Yeah.
Because whether anyone watches or not, you still want to tell the story, you still want to shoot video, you still will sit through the 10 to 20 hours to edit a video, and you will still upload it, not thinking about monetary gain, how many people are going to watch. You simply have the desire to share, and I think that is a key component.
You have to
do YouTube.
You have to.
And that's the question you need to ask yourself. Don't ask the question as like, I don't know how to edit. It seems like such a thing. I don't know what camera to buy. You know, I don't know. He was joking around. What did you start with when you started?
I started with my phone and a GoPro.
I started with my phone and a GoPro too.
Yep.
And you learn to tell a story using those, and editing when you first started probably sucked.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
We all suck. Like, I'm not even a great editor. He edits way better than I do.
You ever go back and look at some of your first videos?
Yes, it's horrible.
I know. I don't know why they're still on my channel.
But
it's great.
I hear it all the time. It's like, man, I don't know if I can do this. Like, we all have to learn. And you know where you learn? You learn on YouTube.
That's
you
right.
watch other YouTubers to learn how. Yeah. So it's a great platform, but it is you're playing for legacy. And you're playing to show your children as they get up, or as they grow up, and they leave, and they think back, man, remember when we were doing this and where we were and stuff. So to YouTube or not to YouTube, I mean, for us, it's pretty evident that we chose to YouTube, but this is not going to be for everyone.
It's not.
No.
It's not. You have to have a passion for the arts, for the creativity side of it. You can't go into YouTube thinking that you're going to make a lot of money, because that's not the case.
No. And his day job, he's an analytical person.
Yeah,
you deal with data and analytical stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and so I have to take a step back sometimes and kind of take myself out of it, because I will just dive into the analytics and it will drive me crazy. But then I have to kind of step back and really re-examine why I'm doing this, and kind of just reset myself.
Yeah. So, but it is fun because it also, YouTube allows you to open doors that you probably wouldn't normally open, because it causes you to step out and have not an adventurous spirit, but you'll be more inquisitive. You'll want to go see things because you want to go show it on the camera, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, you're almost forced to. I mean, you want to keep creating this content, right? And so you want to get out there and you want to explore, but you also want to find the stuff that you can create content on too, and again, present some value to your community.
Yeah, and then when we upload, you get so excited to finally to upload that video. And then when you're doing 3 videos a week, and he probably gets it with 2, the video uploads, and then you're like, whew, it's like this sigh of release. And then you're like, okay, let's go get the next one. It's like there's no time. You get it. You just go and you go and you go.
Yeah, I was just telling him, sometimes I'm editing until midnight on Saturday night, and then I start the upload, let it upload overnight. Sunday morning I wake up, I'm doing my thumbnail, I'm doing my descriptions, I'm doing my title, and then the video's live by 4 p.m. Eastern time. So it's definitely some work. And we travel on the weekends. So we have to balance all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's real. Like, if you're really choosing the RV lifestyle and you go, okay, I'm going to do all this, made the commitment, now we're going to shoot YouTube videos. Everything he shared with you is completely real. There's time commitments. And then here's the thing. If you start your channel and you say, hey, we're going to upload on Sundays, or we're going to upload on Tuesdays, if you really want to do this, you have to stay to that.
You got to commit.
Yeah, you have. And that means you stay up to midnight sometimes to make that video so it posts the next day.
Yep.
Or I've finished editing at 8 p.m., started the upload, and there's Wi-Fi not always that great, and right up to 11:59 it finally posts to YouTube. and I'm like, I still got it in. I mean, that happens.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. I've woken up some mornings and it's like 67% uploaded.
You're like, oh no.
Come on. But
so,
look,
it's a good challenge.
I will say, you know, I've started re-examining kind of how we define this thing. And so not just specifically to YouTube, but RV life.
Yep.
And in a couple of my videos, I've even said it like, it's not RV life anymore, it's life.
Yeah.
And so RV, the RV is just what we live in now.
Yeah.
And it gets us kind of place to place, and it gives us a place to stay while we're going around. But it just turns into life, and YouTube's a big part of that life now. And, you know, that is my passion. That is you know, something that I would love to pursue as a career. At
we
some
kind
point.
of have the dream when you start doing this. You start having the dream of having that big community and having 1 million subscribers, because all that does, and that's why it's important to do all the things: subscribe, like, comment, do all the things.
Ring
in a
the
video.
bell.
Because when you do that, even though you're not providing any money or monetary value to the creator, by being a subscriber and commenting, it tells the YouTube algorithm, hey, this stuff's pretty important. We need to show it to other people. So therefore, the video gets shared with more people, which allows that creator, whether it be Harold or I or another creator, it allows them to be seen and be rewarded by other people finding their content.
Right.
And then the whole goal is that you get to a place where one day we get to do what our passion is, to pay the bills and to continue doing what we love to do.
That's right.
Right. I mean, you're
absolutely.
Yeah, that's the way that's the dream. I think that's a dream of all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to transition into that at some point obviously is the dream, but
it doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't happen overnight, and we're enjoying the ride. You know, that there's a journey. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and we're enjoying this whole race. And again, truing back to why we're doing this, it's for our family, it's for us to you know, be able to get to live in the moment, and then be able to relive those moments later in life. So,
and you get to
really
build friendships along the way,
Yeah.
like meeting Harold. And then look at this. This isn't beautiful. Isn't it? I mean, you get to be outside. They got birds chirping. I'm not even putting that in as a sound effect. That's a real bird.
I think he's a little jealous of my campsite right now.
Oh my goodness. Know what I'm jealous of? Look at this. I want to show you this. I'm jealous of his camera. See this, peeps? This is the different. This is like my camera. I'd show you. It's just a little M50, but he is he's got something nice. It's really nice. But yeah, it's been fun. I thank you for just taking the time to sit down and share that, because it really is important to YouTube or not to YouTube. It's a question I think people get the perception of, if I do this YouTube channel, I'll be able to offset all of our expenses, we'll be able to go out, but the commitment and time and energy is a real thing that I don't want to just sugarcoat over. I really want people to understand that it comes from the heart of a passion, and then it morphs on from there. So that's the question. I mean, obviously he made his.
I'll do it again.
You do it again. Well, you're still doing it too.
I'm still doing it. I just got done editing him like 10 minutes ago.
So in the future, I'm going to drop this little nugget. He doesn't even know this. We continue developing the Switch It Up brand and Switch It Up in general. At some point down the road, I would like to have like a creators weekend where we get a lot of different people that are creating content, and we all get together and we produce different things. That's kind of my goal. I know there's things he's going to something like that soon. Yeah. And I think that would just, I don't know, being around other creators is kind of a thing. So I think that would be a fun idea. All right. As always, I enjoy sitting here bringing you value. This is probably one of my favorite videos. I know it sounds weird, but this is just good for people thinking to start in this lifestyle. I just felt it was important.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, no, it's fun. So go over, check out his channel, and make sure you do all the things over there, because he needs it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
He's got a dream. I'll put all of his stuff on the description down below. Click there, or you can look on the bottom of this. Other than that, thanks, Harold. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
And then we're going to go do something fun here in a little bit. Shoot some more video, and then
got something
planned over on his channel. We'll do it on your channel.
We'll see.
Well, all being said, we are out.